Welcome back, Steppers, and welcome to Contemporary Ballet Beginners. My name is Miss Angela, and today we're going to be learning the core fundamentals for your ballet contemporary journey. Let's get started. Now, before we start any kind of dance, we have to make sure that our limbs are nice and warm. So let's get down to the floor, and we're going to start by putting our feet together and bringing our heels as close as we can to ourselves. Pulling up nice and tall, we're going to press our knees gently to the floor. Now, as we're doing our stretches today, I need you to make sure that you're breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. Your oxygen needs to get to those muscles. So let's begin. Head down to the toes, and we're going to start in through the nose and out through the mouth. Wonderful. You should be feeling a stretch all throughout the legs. As soon as it begins to get too much, take a little rest, and that's perfectly fine. Good. If you need to at this point, feel free to give your knees an extra little nudge as we're stretching. Keeping those heels in to you as close as you can. That would be absolutely perfect. Good. Now, before we come up, let's give it a final stretch. You're going to give your hands just in front of you and walk your hands forward. Making sure we're taking those deep breaths. Give the oxygen to the muscles. And walk yourself up. Amazing. We're going to now pull up out of our spines and straighten those legs in front of us. Fingertips just on the floor. Now, point those toes up to the ceiling, and we're going to slowly work through our feet. Wonderful. And pop. Try to get those toes touching the floor if you can. And pop. Wonderful. Good. Every time we go down, we should make sure that our toes are the last thing to get there, and then point them as hard as you can. And pop. Good. This is great for strengthening those arches in the foot, and also for stretching the nice muscles just on top. We're now going to reach up to the sky and all the way forward. Try your best to touch your toes. If you can, touch your heels. The goal of this one is to absolutely get your tummy to your legs, but remember, these legs have to stay straight. If you bend them at all, that's cheating, and we want to do it properly. So let's make sure that they're nice and straight. Our toes are still pointed. We're having nice breaths so we can get that oxygen flowing through our muscles. Wonderful. Making sure that we're still elongating our spines even as we're stretching. Wonderful. And final pull. Just that little extra bit before we come up. Now reach those arms all the way up around you. Awesome. Let's open up those legs. Now, for this one, you have to make sure that your knees and your toes are facing the ceiling. As soon as they start to roll in, correct that right away, okay? Now, we're going to start with our hands wiggling to the side and reaching all the way up and over. Now, as we go to the side, I need you guys to imagine that your shoulders are like building blocks. This is building block number 1 and building block number 2. If building block number 2 falls forward, then your tower is going to crumble. So let's keep our building block number 2 stacked on top of building block number 1. Good. We're going to reach that arm that's above here to really feel that stretch all through the side. And reaching for that toe, not crashing down. Final pull, all the way up, reaching the other arm right to the side. Good job, everyone. Deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. Feeling that nice gentle stretch just through the side. Not too much. We don't want to get hurt. Excellent. Relax your body. Just feel the stretch. Good. And final pull. Little extra stretch before we reach up and over. Good. Arms all the way up to the sky. Wiggle those fingers, shoulders down. And we're going to reach all the way to the center. Wonderful. If you can, try to get your tummy touching the floor. If you're still struggling to get your tummy to the floor, like I said, make sure we're breathing those deep breaths. Good. Check your toes. Are they starting to fall forward? Fix them right away. Good. Now, the turnout from the toes should start at the hips. So making sure that those knees are facing the ceiling as well. Good. Deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Final pull. Deep breath, deep breath. And walk yourself up. Good. Now what we're going to do next is we're going to actually bring our legs crossed over. So if that was a little confusing, let's do that slowly. We're going to start on our bums. One leg is going to wrap around under this one. The other is going to wrap around on top. Now what we're stretching here are the outsides of our hips. In dance and ballet specifically, we need to have good turnout, and that starts at the hips. So we're going to place our knees so they're stacked one on top of the other and lean forward. We're going to hold that there, making sure we're breathing in through our nose and out through our mouths. Good. You can reach forward if that helps. In through your nose and out through your mouth. Perfect. If it's a little bit too much, feel free to come up a little bit. Everyone's different, and that's perfectly fine. Wonderful. But if you can keep going, feel free to reach down as low as you can. Making sure we're still breathing nice and heavy. Wonderful. Make sure we're not holding any tension in those hips. We're just feeling that stretch all up here. Perfect. And we're going to walk ourselves up, and we're going to switch. Nice and slow. Be gentle to those hips. Knees stacked one on top of the other. And begin to lower down. Now, as we're doing this, make sure that both hips are nice and straight. We don't want to make sure that one hip is lifted off the floor. Good. We should be evenly distributed, all of our weight, not more to one side than the other. And we're going to make sure we're breathing. Wonderful. Reach those arms forward if that helps. Check those hips. Are they in line? Good. This is going to be excellent for your hips, whether you're dancing or just as we go through life. It's always good to have those flexible hips. And begin to walk yourself up. Excellent work. Now, from here, we're going to do one final stretch. Up on our feet, we're going to glue our hands to the floor. Now, as we begin to straighten, I want you to make sure your hands stay stuck to the floor. As soon as they start to come off, you know you've gone too far. So try your best to straighten those legs, but keep those hands on the floor. That's the priority here, okay? Good. Focus on breathing in through your nose and out through your mouth. If you're having a hard time balancing here, focus on one spot on the floor and look nowhere else. Keeping your eyes focused is going to help you stay balanced. In through the nose and out through the mouth. Wonderful. And bend those legs. And now what we're going to do is we are going to slowly roll up, imagining that we're going through every vertebrae in your spine, and the head being the last one to come up. Good. Now let's warm up those shoulders. We're going to roll them forward, roll them back, roll them forward, roll them back. Good. Then come the other way. Amazing. And now let's get started on the bar exercises. Now, as we do these bar exercises, feel free to use a chair, just like I have here, perhaps a counter, a couch, whatever you have at home that's accessible to you. So we're going to begin with our pliés. Now, how we're going to do these pliés is we're going to start in first position of feet. This is going to look like a nice slice of pie, perhaps a really big slice of pizza, not too small, and to start, not too wide, just nice and comfortable. Now, throughout every exercise we do, we're going to be pulled up out of our spines. We're going to have our hands in what's called brava. We're going to shake out that arm, throw it in front of you, and just give it a soft curve. Now, what the exercise is going to look like for this one is we're going to plie 3 times. That's 1, 2, and 3. Each time we go down, knees over toes, and straighten those legs as they come up. Perfect. We're going to then point our foot to the side. Same thing. 3 pliés, knees over toes. And we're going to point and close. To end, we're going to bring our arm just in front of us, reaching out, and bring those legs in so we look like we're pigeon-toed a little. And begin to melt forward. And come up and turn those feet out again. I want your spine to feel nice and fluid. Feel the music, not too technical for this one. Let's get started. A deep breath before we start. And pulling up. Long neck and plie. And up. Try and make that beautiful diamond shape here in your plie. Every time you come up, you're pulling those legs nice and straight. And we're pointing to the side, straightening that leg, and in second position. Second position should just be shoulder width apart, knees over toes. Good. Make sure you're breathing. Up. Let's do one more to really focus on those knees over toes, straightening those legs as you come up, pointing out, close. Now reach and come forward, dropping that head last and bringing it up last. Let's do once more, and dropping that head last and bringing that head up last. Always finish your exercises properly. Wonderful. On to the next side. Deep breath. Hold up nice and tall, and we plie. And pull up, straight legs, plie. Pull up. Let's focus on the back. Shoulder blades should be pushing themselves together to open up those shoulders. And 1. Good. Knees over toes. Wonderful. Let's do one more. Shoulders back. And open. And all the way forward. And head is the last thing to come up. reach and forward. And head is the last thing to come up. Always finish your exercise properly. Wonderful. That was your plie exercise. I'm so excited. Let's move on to exercise 2. We're gonna do next our tendus. Now what a tendu is gonna look like is we're gonna pull up nice and tall in first position for today. And we're gonna lead with our heel first, keeping pressure on the floor and pointing that toe. Toes lead back so we are nice and turned out. We never wanna point, turn in, unless you're otherwise told. Good, so we're gonna do 3 tendus to the front, nice and slow. And then once we finish the third, we're gonna rise and lower. As we do the rise, feel free to do whatever arms you want. You can use your spine in the rise. Wonderful. And we're gonna do the same to the side. We do 1, 2, and 3. And we rise again, however you would like. As you rise, pull those legs up nice and straight and keep that back elongated. That's gonna help you stay nice and balanced. I think that we're ready for music. And breath. And we begin. And pressure on the floor and point. Toes lead back when you're closing. Heels lead out. And toes lead back. One more. Make sure there's no weight on that toe. Good. And rise. Feel the music. Wonderful. And to the side. Nice and slow. This is to really focus on the pressure on the floor, the pointing of the foot. Go through those toes. Wonderful. There should be no weight on that foot, just a little bit of pressure. And that comes from keeping your legs nice and straight. Good. And to the other side. To the front, toes lead back, heels lead forward. Good. Now don't forget about that fake string that we're gonna attach to our heads to pull us up out of our spines. So we have those long necks. Rise however you'd like. Good. And to the side. Close. Straighten those legs. There should be no bends. None whatsoever. Good. Make sure you guys are breathing as we're doing this. Remember, those muscles need that oxygen. Good. And to the other side. The next thing that we're going to learn is called rond de jambe. What these are gonna look like, I'll show you just with the legs first. It's gonna go to the front, to the side, and close. We're only gonna do half rond de jambes so we can really focus on pointing those toes and opening that leg. As we do our rond de jambes, make sure that our hips are not moving around, yes? This is solid. The only thing moving is our leg. Fabulous. So what the exercise is going to look like is we are going to point to the front, point to the side, and close. We do that 3 times. Amazing. Once more. Good job. And now we go to the side. We go open to the front and close. We do that 3 times. Now, as we're doing this exercise, I want your body to feel free with your arms. So we can go to the front, and as we open up and over to the side and close. However you'd like. It's really just making sure that your toes are pointed, hips are still, and your upper body can feel free and like it's stretching out like a big bubble is around you. Let's get started. And breathe. And open. The side, down. And open. Open. Good. Are those hips moving? I hope not. Wonderful. And to the side. Use your head as we're doing this. Good. And reach those arms. Wonderful. Let's do one more. Even more body movement. Good. And to the other side. Hold up nice and tall. Open to the front. To the side. And close. Don't move those hips. Those hips should not be moving. Good. Amazing. Hold up to the side and front. Close. Don't be afraid to use more spine in there if you need to. Close. Let's do one more. And breathe. Good job, everyone. Now, the next step that we're going to do is called a Battement fondue. Now, what that's going to look like is it's going to be very similar to our chanjus, but instead of keeping our foot always connected to the floor, our Battement, actually, it's Battement fondue. We're not doing those ones. Now, the next exercise we're going to do is called Battement fondue. Fondue means to melt. Now, what we're going to do here is we're going to start in third position. We're going to be pulled up nice and tall, leaving our arm just here in front of us in half brava. We're going to melt. Now, as we do this, we're going to focus on keeping our foot right next to our leg in front of us. It should scratch up the front of your foot. Good. This knee should be pushed back so we get this lovely position here. And we're going to open up, and our leg should straighten at the exact same time. So, as we bend, this leg has a lot more way to go. So it has to start moving a little bit before our supporting leg. Let's try that together. We bend and scratch, and this moves first before our supporting leg. Wonderful. So what the exercise is going to look like is we are going to melt, and we're first going to start opening with a flexed foot and close. Melt and point and close. Melt, point and close. We do the same to the side. We melt, we flex, and finish. We melt, we point and close, and one more. Wonderful. Let's get started. And breathe. Wonderful. We melt and flex, point and close. Good. For this one, feel free to use the body as you melt. It's Contemporary Ballet, not as strict as proper. We're going to be nice and free. Good. Use your upper body if you'd like. Feel the music. Good. And close. The other side. Hold up nice and tall. Melt. And flex. Point. And let's move on to the last exercise at the bar. Now, this one is going to be a strengthening exercise. We're going to be doing some rises. Let's stand in parallel, which is just our feet together, side by side. When we do our rises, make sure that our heels are right next to each other, not gaping out or not rolling in either. Nice and straight. Now, if you have your chair in front of you or your counter, face it, pull up nice and tall, and we will begin our rises. We're going to rise up 1. Good. 2. And as you come down, make sure that you're not crashing down. We need to be nice and controlled. Use all those muscles around those ankles. This is going to be great for as we're walking around in the day. If we want to put on some nice fancy heels, we need those strong ankles. Wonderful. Keeping those legs straight. Good, and hold. Holding and relax. If you need to, feel free to stretch that out. We'll place one leg behind and bend the front one. Wonderful. Now, are you breathing as we're doing the rises? I hope so. Good. Now, hold up nice and tall. Back to parallel. Let's bring one leg up, and we're going to do one-legged rises. That's 1. Keeping that leg nice and straight. We shouldn't be rising on a bent leg. Good, and hold. Pulling up nice and tall. And relax. Switch, and we rise 1. Lower. You should be rising as high as you can. As high as you can. We only have this one class today, so make sure you're giving it all you have. Good. And relax. Shake it out if you need to. Wonderful. Now we're going to stand in first position, which we already learned. We're going to do our rises this way. Each time we rise, heels should be facing each other. We don't want to be turned in. Make sure we're turning out those legs. Good. Shoulders should be back still. We should have our long necks. Good. Keeping those legs straight. Heels together. Amazing. And we're almost there. Just one more. And hold. Pulling up out of your hips. It's going to make it easier to stay there if we have that string tied and we're pulling up. Good, you're almost there. And relax. Good job, everyone. Now, feel free to get a drink of water before we hop into center work. Amazing. So now that we've stepped away from the counter or put away our chairs, we're going to start the center exercises. What that's going to look like is we're going to start in parallel. We're going to shake out our arms and throw them in front of us. Now give them a soft curve. This is called bra-ba. For bra-ba, we want to make sure it's not too squishy and it's not too straight. A nice gentle curve, enough for a droplet of water to stream down that arm. Wonderful. Now what's going to happen is we're going to lift up to first position of arms. First position of arms should just be just in front of your belly button. Not too low and not too high. Just in front of your belly button. From there, we're going to go out to second position by first opening those fingertips as if we're opening luxurious curtains. Good. Once you've reached second position, lift those elbows, palms down to lower. Good. Now that we've learned bra-ba first and second, we're going to move on. So the next arm position that we're going to learn is third position. It's going to be one arm in first position, the other arm in second position. And we're just going to alternate in the exercise. Just like we're putting our arms through beautiful clear water, making lovely ripples. Let's practice that for a second. Good. For this one, I'm going to say it's totally encouraged to use those shoulders in this. Excellent. Now for the exercise, what's going to happen is we're going to start bra-ba, bring our arms up to first, opening to second and close. We do that twice. Good. And then we're going to reach up to third. As we come to third, our same arm as leg is going to come up. We're going to reach. We're going to reach. And we're going to do that 4 times. Good. Let's practice that coordination with the arms and legs in this exercise. So let's start. And breathe. Pulling up nice and tall. And first. Keeping it nice and round. Opening to second with your elbows lifted and lower. Up to first. Open those curtains. Lift those elbows and come down. Now we go to third. And third. Third. And third. And once more. Open. Come down. Making sure that we're still pulling up. Long necks. Reaching those arms. We don't want any goopy arms. Make sure they're nice and elongated. And switch. Good. So beautiful. And finish. Lovely work, guys. The next exercise that we're going to be doing today is called chasses. So what the feet are going to look like is we are going to bend, slide, and come up. When we come up, point that toe and straighten that leg out and close. We're going to do the same thing to the other side, keeping our weight in the middle as we come. So weight in the middle, weight just over top of that supporting leg. Amazing. Let's do that once more. We're going to put our weight in the middle, and then it goes just over top of that supporting leg. Excellent. Now, what the upper body is going to do for this one is we're going to practice some reaches. As we plie and we begin to slide, I want you to pretend that there's a string tied to your ribs here. The arm is going to start reaching, and the string here is going to get pulled. You're going to lead with your ribs and come up. Good. We're going to go to the other side. We're going to lead with our ribs and come up. Now, in the exercise, what it's going to look like is we're going to be pulled up nice and tall. We're going to plie and reach, coming up and point, reach, coming up and point. We're going to do that 4 times. Let's get started with the music. Reach and up, point and point. Plie, reach. Good. Pointing that toe. Pressure on the floor for those. Weight centered. Weight up and point and point. One more. Reach. Come up. Good. Pull those legs up, long necks, and relax. Good job, guys. Wonderful. What we're going to learn next is called releves. So what we're going to do here is we're going to start in third position. What we're going to do next is we're going to snatch our feet up as we rise up on our toes really quickly. So they're going to snatch together. You're going to be pulling your legs and your feet nice and tight. Ready? We're going to rise up to fifth. Wonderful. Now what's going to happen next is we're going to rise up, Land in third, we're gonna changement, which means to change. So we're gonna jump up in the air, and when we land, our feet have changed. I'll show you that once more. We go releve, land, jump, change. Good. And the exercise, what we're going to do is we're going to be doing plie, releve, jump, change, releve, jump, change. Then we're gonna open. We're gonna go 1, 2, 3, 4. Good. And that will be the exercise. Let's get started. Breathing. Now, as we do this, we're gonna pull our legs straight every time we releve, right? Pull and switch. And pull and switch. Now, pull those legs straight every time they snatch out. Good. Wonderful, guys. The next things that we're going to be learning, we're going to be doing some sautés. Sauté means to jump. So we really have to make sure we're jumping. We're going to start in parallel. And we're going to start with some jumps. Plie. And we go 1, 2, 3, 4. Every time we land, make sure that our knees are going over our toes, that they're not sinking in. Otherwise, we're going to get some injuries. So knees over toes every time you land. Now, from there, we're going to go for the exercise. 1, 2, 3, 4. We're going to step with one leg and reach up. Step and reach up. And prep again. We go 1, 2, 3, 4. Step, up, and prepare. Let's get started. Good. Weight on your toes, shoulders back. And 1, 2, 3, 4. And prep. And really jump. Point those toes under you. And prep. Do that a few more times at home, and you're going to be an excellent jumper. Let's move on to some transfer of weight. Transfer of weight is going to be an essential tool throughout your dance journey. Now, I'll show you how we're going to start. For this exercise, we're going to be going up and over like a rainbow. We're going to go up and over and slide back. Don't worry about pointed toes. This one's all about your movement. We're going to go up and over and bring it back. We're going to go to the side then. We're going to swing out and up. Good. So for the exercise, we go up and over, bring it back. Swing it to the side, bring it back. And we're going to do a sauté to the back, sauté to the front. How do we do this without falling over? We're going to make sure that we're nice and pulled up. Nothing's out of line. And as we go, we're going to do our head first. We're going to go head, land. Head, land. Look to where you want to go. That's the best advice for that one. Excellent. After that, we just go straight to the other side. We go up and over like a rainbow. Feel free to melt with your body and swing it out. As we're going out to the side, feel the floor with your feet. You should feel it sliding. Excellent. I think it's time to start with some music. Let's go. Pulling up nice and tall. Wiggle those arms to really relax them. Good. And up and over. In. Pulling up. Swing out. Relax those arms. And jump. And jump. Pulling up nice and tall. Up and over the rainbow. Other leg. Pull it in. Long neck in between. Swing out, pull it in. And jump, and jump. Let's do it once more. Like a rainbow, up and over. Bring it in, and tall in between. Snap your head, snap quick, and to the other side. Up and over. Pull it in. Long neck in between, and slide. And up, long neck, and snap. And snap. And deep breath, everyone. Good job. Excellent work. Well, there we have it, steppers. Excellent work at your first beginner ballet contemporary class. Today we learned the essentials. We learned everything from the basics of our pliés to our pointed feet, transfer of weight, and some rib movement. You guys did an excellent job, so get a drink of water, and Miss Angela will see you again next time.